to Legends of Change, a special edition. Why is this a special edition? Simply because we revisit our legends and we get a bit more personal with them on lessons they have learned during the year 2022 and plans for 2023 while they get ready and dress up for a special treat at a few restaurants in Windhoek that have offered to spoil our community legends to a very delicious signature meal. There is lots to learn, so stay tuned. Remember Charmaine Shannon, a remarkable woman who has represented the country in various sport fields and disciplines and earned over 200 medals?
I'm Charmaine Shannon. I'm a multi-sport athlete of Namibia. These days I don't train and race so much as in the past, but I used to be a multi-sport athlete doing triathlon, duathlon, biathlon, inline hockey, canoe polo, fistball, and I've been all over the world in the good old days when we still could travel freely without this COVID going on. And I was so fortunate because that was the good days. But then after I got a scholarship to Canada and I studied coaching, I came back to Namibia as a coach, and I started to coach kids. And I still trained and raced a lot since then, up to about 2015. I studied nature conservation, natural resource management, and nature is very close to my heart. COVID was bad, but what it taught me was that period where we were locked down, where no one came out of their houses and things, that made such a huge impact on the environment, that literally we had such a wonderful rainy season, and we got all these pictures and videos and things of other countries where water flow freely again, where fish could breathe again, where pollution dropped like radically. And that is in my heart to also, with kids, because they are our building blocks, start environmental education out of the classroom.
Now that we remembered Charmaine, let us hear about her first experience filming with the Legends of Change crew.
It was a new thing. I'm not used to that, except when we race and NBC is there and they quickly talk to us. But to have a private interview, it's something new, and it's nice, and it was nice in a sense that I could send a message through our local television site.
Even though 2023 is well underway, it is important to reflect on the previous year because valuable lessons often come from those experiences. So, how was 2022 for Charmaine? What were her highs and lows? And how is 2023 shaping up?
All right, everybody just heard the bad stories about 2020 and COVID and everything was bad. But then in 2022, for a change, some old team of mine for the Desert Dash asked me again if I'm interested to ride the Desert Dash again, and so I said yes, but I was not fit at all, and all of a sudden I just had this secure goal to train again, and sometimes if I didn't have time, like I never have these days, I had to make time to train with the team, and so I got much more fit again and I raced the Desert Dash with the team. And that wasn't the highlight. The highlight was that I got fit and that I started to participate in triathlons again, like swim run events, and not being last or not being there saying, yeah, I'm just finishing the race, but doing the race with a goal. Not to win, not to be the best anymore, because there's lots of up and coming new talent, but to at least, do good and sometimes win your age group. So I started to participate much more. We were also so blessed after the COVID horrors with having almost no kids at our coaching system. We had lots of kids in our swimming system again. Everything started to build up again. We had holiday camps where we had a lot of kids coming to the camps. We were blessed by B2 Gold, we had an agreement with them to host holiday sleepover camp, but a special type of camp where we take orphanage kids that they sponsor, and then also our paying kids, to mix them and to have this whole new experience with kid privileged and non-privileged kids mixing up and being one. And then we had obstacle course races, and everybody was divided into groups, mixing them up, and they had to race together, do things together, go on game drives together, learn about the paying kids learned about being in nature, where as opposed to the other kids are always in nature, but they don't appreciate nature because that is part of their life. And they would, for instance, maybe throw papers and stuff, and you teach them that is not good, and to appreciate nature even if this is your daily life. And to the privileged kids, to appreciate nature even if it's not part of your life and things like that. We were very blessed for that. It was a whole new experience, and we really hope that we can collaborate again this year with B2 Gold and in future with other lodges who host us as a sponsorship, paying for the kids' food and accommodation, the orphanage kids of course, and only the paying kids for that camp, you know, join in a little bit of payment, things like that.
Being a busy person, especially when pursuing one's passion, is often not considered work. However, me time is also important because it helps our busy brains unwind and recharge. Taking this time to allow us to relieve stress, improve sleep, have better control over our moods, increase patience levels, and truly live in the moment. So, does Charmaine ever make time to rest?
I rarely have time for myself. We coach Monday to Thursday, full out the whole day. You don't have time for anything. And then Fridays you put aside for meetings or going to the shops or doing things that needs to be done, getting your car license and whatever. So Fridays is also, even though we don't coach, it's also hectic, and sometimes if there was a holiday day on a Monday or a Wednesday or so, you have to catch up those lessons on a Friday. Weekends I have for myself, but many weekends I race, which is then not for myself. But if I have a weekend for myself, it's different than for other people who would go sit down and just want to relax and do nothing. I cannot do that, maybe because of my personality or so. When I have me time, it is when I have time to go gym or jog or, you know, work out on my time and not worrying about anything else. That is me time, and I have that sometimes over weekends, yes.
Generally, when we discuss life's lessons, the focus is often on learning from our mistakes. So as we continue to learn from our legends in these special episodes, let's discover the new insights Charmaine has to offer.
In finance, yeah, it's hectic out there in the world, and again, with our coaching business, it's a luxury for kids to be able to do extramurals, and we are just so thankful that even though the economy is not that good, we still have parents. We are in a position to be able to say to parents, listen, you don't have to pay the full amount, and our amount that we charge per month is very little in comparison to anything else extramural related, and so we're not really there to make money. We just have to survive, and we just have to be able to, you know, pay our coaches and our deeds and things that we need to pay. But it's not so easy if you look at the bigger picture, like for instance fuel prices that went up and things like that. In the past you would get much less kids sometimes than we have now, but everything was so much easier and so much more. But now you have so many more expenses, and it's like the fees that comes in doesn't cover as much as it used to cover in the old days. So that is a lesson I learned, but you also learn to get along with what you have, where you have it at this stage. And then, yeah, personal life, I can just be thankful. I'm religious and I believe in God, and I'm thankful for my faith, and I think in this day and time my only strength is to be faithful and to have faith in God, because otherwise, you know, with everything that's coming in, people just give up, and we don't want to give up. And on that point with the kids, what we realized actually this week was there's so much broken kids in this world, and broken families and things, not just like broken in many ways, with parents separating and things happening at the house and finances and this and that. And kids don't always show that, and we are sometimes just, especially when you're a coach, you're single-minded into your sport and you want them to perform and do it nice and what. And it's not only like separation in families, mom and dad, but also whatever is going on at home, or even in school, bullying and things like that, and finances at home and everywhere. We realize that we as a coach shouldn't just have this one way of, now we want to coach and we want a kid to swim perfect or do this perfect, and that is our way. It's, for me it's easy because I can do it, but for them it's maybe not that easy. They don't know it, they don't know how to do it, and they struggle to listen or to do this or that, or they have all these other issues, and they struggle with the coaching issue. So we as coaches, we don't only look straight into coaching and being the best, and so that is T-Rex also. We don't coach elite kids only until they're about 13. Then they're anyway too big for the pool. Then they go to clubs and things if they want to continue with gala swimming. Triathlon on the other hand, I have groups where I coach kids, triathlon kids, in a bigger group or in a more advanced group, but that is very small, and they have to have equipment and things which not all the kids have. But then on the swimming side, I talk to my coaches, we now want to focus more on not only coaching real sports coaching, but life skills, and talking to their souls, the little kids, help them, encourage them. Just yesterday we had 2 kids crying for nothing, and we said, what's the matter? And they're like, I'm just sad. And then you ask their story and they tell you why they're sad, or they don't, and then you just have something to encourage them with, and be a little bit calmer on the coaching side in the pool itself. So yeah, and that makes a huge difference, and that is what and I also said to my coaches this year, from this year on, we have to start focusing more on that again. Like even our camps used to be like that, where there was a specific session where we sit in a circle and talk to the kids, asking their lifeline, asking them what's going on. And if you can see someone specific having problems, you would take them aside so that they don't have to talk in front of everybody, and we talk to them. And this is what is necessary, because this is our future. The kids is our future. And if our future kids is not looked after now, because they are thrown to technology and all these things, and they just do what they want. And some kids really don't have manners, and they don't have discipline, and they don't have humanity. And we want to create that back into them, because it's not their fault necessarily. So yeah, that's the life lessons we learned and we want to put forward.
Upon arriving at our local generous restaurant, Charmaine reveals the many goals she still wishes to achieve with her team.
There's a lot of goals always on my schedule. I'm always busy, I always have lots of things to do. Like we coach here at Dagbreek Special School, and we have a goal, and we talk to the principal, because we have to help somehow also. But since we are so busy, there is no way we can coach the whole school or have them on a camp if they don't pay, because we have expenses. But certain things like coaching, we offer our free time now to a group of more advanced swimmers that can understand us and that can swim good. So they are now that's one goal, is now we want to take them to a higher level where they can participate, for instance, in the first gala in October, in this Pupkewitz gala for the first thing. And then from there on, they can participate in Swakop at the OTB mile swim and stuff like that. And then in triathlons, which is my sport, which we coach them for. So we take them into local events and also bring Dagbreek's name to the picture and give encouragement to these kids. That is our one goal, and obviously we cannot do it without sponsors, so I'm busy writing sponsor letters now at this stage. And then my personal goals for our coaching, we just have the goal to teach these kids to learn to swim and to learn the physical sports things, but also to, like I said, to have impact in their lives.
Since this lunch is for 2 people, Charmaine has invited a special person in her life whom she now calls her mom. While we wait for her, Charmaine tells us about the quality she admires in the individuals within her intimate circle.
It's very difficult to have a human aspiration, but many times I choose my workforce that helps me, my coaches and stuff. And my one coach who works physically with me the whole day in the pool, she's got very good qualities in a sense that I am very energetic and things needs to be done this way and this way. And I can get angry sometimes too quick if things doesn't work out perfectly or so on. And then she's calm. And then when I would be a little bit hard on the kids, she's calm. And then I'm like, oh, now I should be like her. And I should take her example and be more like her in that sense. Sometimes it's just reversed, then I tell her what to do and not to be and what. But then you rethink it and you look at that person's personality and you say, yeah, when I'm like this, she's like that, and I need to be more like that at certain spots. So yeah, definitely my one coach, I can definitely relate to adopting her calmness.
Before the food arrives and they indulge in their meal, Charmaine emphasizes the importance of family.
Family is my whole life. My mom was my whole life until she passed away, and still, even though she passed away, she's my encouragement to keep the faith, because then one day I can see her in heaven and I don't have to, not see her again. Family is very, very important, and you hear that around, especially us working with kids. Kids misbehaving towards their parents and parents misbehaving towards their kids. And in the end, if you listen carefully and clearly, the most important thing that matters around them is that relationships. Relationships where parents don't get along, or where they do get along super good with their kids, and relationships where kids get super well along with their parents. And not only parent-kid relationships, but also sibling relationships. I see a few very nice things in kids, that siblings that are so close and they look after each other. They would come and say, yeah, but you must wait, my brother or my sister, or they would help us dress the little ones. On a camp situation where we are at camps, we saw that, what I said about the orphanage kids and the privileged kids. The privileged kids want to go home to their parents. They miss them. They don't want to be at camp if it's longer than 3 days. But if we have a 5-night camp, they are the ones who want to go away, because family is important to them. And to these orphanage kids, we become their family, and they start attracting towards us. And even after 5 days, they don't want to leave. So definitely family is the most important thing in anyone's life. Not money, not things, not nothing, but family, definitely.
As Charmaine emphasized the importance of family over materialistic pursuits, because in the end, material possessions cannot bring us as much joy as human connection. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this special edition, and there are many more to come. See you next week, dear Legends of Change enthusiasts.